Hawa, Brakati Habashai, Brakati Hawa, Brakati Habashai, Brakati Hawa, Brakati Habashai, Kohaloyum La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahabashai, Bahashem, Rahak Wadash. All right, first and foremost, I'd like to continue to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahabashai, Bahashem, Rahak Wadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, and to the Baisha Dabadat, the house of David. I'm Ayah Shatad, coming to you through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back, you are the true children of Israel that the Bible speaks of. Salvation belongeth unto you, and you alone. First and foremost, to the 144,000 elect men, Lord willing be of that number, right? Then the multitude of the men, women, and children who believe upon the testimony. All right, 2/3 of the nation of Israel will perish, will be canceled, will be deleted, will die. All right, for not believing upon the testimony or receiving the the good news, the gospel, all right, of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But without further ado, have a lesson for you today, Lord willing, be edifying, uplifting unto the body. All right. This lesson is just going to be called Honors Due. All right. Honors due. All right. And honors are due to our apostles. Head apostle, starting with the head apostle Tahar. All right. Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakah, Apostle Rama, the elders. All right. Who are worthy of double honors. All right. But without further ado, let's go ahead and read these scripts. Right, this is going to be here in the book of 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 17, and it reads, "Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honors, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine." Right, so those who labor in the word and doctrine. All right, hey, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rama, Apostle Rakal, the elders. All right, men who've been doing this thing 40, 30, 20, all right, 10 plus years, teaching and preaching, all right, never wavering in the truth, but continuing to edify, all right, only making it plain upon tables throughout the ministry, all right, as these men have labored, all right, labored so that we can receive the truth through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, being fishermen, casting those nets out there. All right, as Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has give each of our apostles a diverse spirit that they bring in Salakia, bring in the fish, all right, bring in the men as fishermen, bring in the men to forward the doctrine, all right, to preach and teach this word, all right, as the bait that they put forward, all right, as Salakia, as their apostles before them gave unto them as well, all right, that the ministry may flourish and that we may be here today in truth, honesty, and sincerity, performing the work of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right? So double honors are due unto our elders, okay? Verse 18, and it reads, For the scripture saith, thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn, and the labor with worthy of his reward. All right, and they are worthy of their rewards, double honors. All right, here it is, watching old videos. All right, as we watch the archives of our apostles, the footwork that has been done, things that have come out, the corrections that these men have made, even to their own understanding, at the times where Yahweh Bashem Yahushai was still revealing certain things unto them. All right, this is why these men are worthy of double honors. All right, and this is why we are to be continued servants and students. All right, because the Spirit is on our apostles. The Spirit is on these men to lead the nation of Israel. All right, we have to give our apostles double honors when it's due, and it always do. All right, Lord willing, we continue in the faith as these men have through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Continue in our discipline, in our stewardship that was given to us by the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, that this bait that they have cast, that we are partakers of this glorious gospel. All right, in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Salakia. This is going to be here in the book of Matthew. And it's going to be Matthew chapter 10 and verse 24. And it reads, the disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. All right, and this is in red, so this is Yahushua speaking. All right, we are not above our apostles. We've seen throughout the years myself. All right, but how much more these apostles? How much more Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakar, Apostle Ramla, all right, have seen throughout the years men who try to circumvent their authority over the apostles. As we see Alizé, all right, as he tried to tell the apostles, all right, that they need to retire. Apostle Tahar that he needs to retire. Now look at him. All right. Now look at these false prophets. All right. Hey, they have come to naught. All right. They have not the oil of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. These men have withstood the test of time, and Lord willing will continue, as we will continue in the ministry that they have put forth through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. That we may be able to continue in the works. Salakia, continue in the works, with the teachers that came before us, all right, as examples, all right, standing in the ministry, still out on the highways and byways today, not taking a season off, all right, as Nate the Fake takes his season off and his men, all right. Continuing on, there's going to be a jumper here in the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? All right. And the apostles, Salakia. All right. Salakia. I'm going to read that again. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 3. And it reads, can two walk together except they be agreed? Right. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has set up the apostles, all right, to be able for us to hear the message, all right, so that we can be in agreement on one accord, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that we may have an opportunity, all right, that we may have an opportunity to sup with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, okay? Matter of fact, let's get here. Let's go to the book of Salakia. Let's go to the book of Ephesians. Right here. 6 and let's start at 5, and it reads, servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling, in singleness of your heart, as unto a Mashiach. All right, because these men who are over us, all right, starting with our head apostle Tahar, all right, on down from the head of your camp, right, the men who are over you were instructed by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, were ordained by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right. You have to believe in the order that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has set up, and for the purpose and the reason, all right. But our apostles, all right, are counted that much more worthy for the double honors, for the work that they have done, starting with our head apostle Tahar. All right, that the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, is working with these men and continues to work with us. Adawana Rataza. If we stand faithful and true for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. Salakia. Verse 6. Not with eye service as man pleasers, but as servants of a Mashiach, doing the will of the power Yahweh Shem Yahushai from thy heart. All right. So with your mind, all right, with your mind and with your full heart, your full beingness, serve in the ministry and serve correctly. All right, and give these men their honor that is due. All right, not being a man pleasers as the scripture says, but being in order. All right, these men, all right, push forth the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. First and foremost, working out their own salvation with fear and trembling, but that we are able to receive, all right, that type of fear, all right, because that's true fear. 40, 30, 20, 15, 10 plus years, 5+ years, it takes Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai's fear to last in the ministry. Trust and believe, all right, and how much more, decades, all right, that Yahweh Shem Yahushai has had these men laboring in this stuff that they've seen. Brothers have fallen out, men who were on fire, men who lost it in one instant, all right. That is fear that Yahweh Shem Yahushai has instilled in these men, all right. Respect the position and understand they are worthy of double honors through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay. Verse 7, and it reads, with good will, with good will doing service as to the Lord and not to men. All right. Understand that these masters that are over us are not field task masters. All right. Of the slave sense, okay, but they are taskmasters of the soul, all right, putting forth task, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. When an order goes out, it is to be done to the best of your ability. If you're having trouble, fast and pray and give it to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right. We have to remember to be ministers, disciplined in the ministry unto the ministers that were given unto us. Slakia, for the stewardship, all right, as the epistles go out, as we still should do, all right. We can't forget these things. Speaking to myself first and foremost, all right, that we ask Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, to continue to count us worthy, but continue to give us our apostles and elders double honors that are due unto them through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, verse 8, knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall be received of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which he do Slakia, whether he be bound or free, all right, that we do it cheerfully, all right, whether we be bound or free. And this is here for the servants of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, for the men who are subject, all right, Salakia, for the men who are subject, all right, to remember that, we are all subject one to another, that we abide one to another, all right, serve serving our masters, serving our masters and serving are right. All right. I'm going to get this. Then I'm going to go ahead and close out. It's going to be here in the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2. Chapter 2 and verse 1, it reads, "Though therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Yahushai, that is in Amashiach Yahushai, and in the things that thou hast heard of me amongst many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also." And this is what the apostles have given us through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This ministry, this doctrine, that we may be able to teach it to other men, to receive the grace, the mercy, and the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushai first and foremost. All right? It is through this ministry that you will find salvation. If you but obtain if you obtain the mercy and the grace of Yahweh Shem Yahushai through his fear. All right? Because the beginning of wisdom and knowledge is the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? Lord willing, this be edifying, uplifting unto the body. I want to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listen, learning, to the Baya Shadabadat, the house of David. To the next time, Amaya Shatat saying Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Wa Abal Babal. Shalom.